Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike, and these are going to be brutal murders by children. Girl A. On June 1st, 2004, an 11-year-old schoolgirl, best known as Girl A, murdered her 12-year-old classmate in an empty classroom during lunch at an elementary school in Japan. During the attack, Girl A slit the throat and arms with a utility knife. She then left the body at the scene and returned to class with her clothes covered in blood. Her teacher found the body and called the police. After being questioned by authorities, she confessed to the crime, saying she and her friend had fought as a result of messages left on the internet. Girl A had claimed that her friend slandered her by commenting on her weight and calling her a goody-goody, and on September 15, 2004, she was involuntarily committed to a state-run juvenile correction facility for only 4 years. Brothers for life. In November 2001, firefighters raced to a blaze through the streets of a small town just located 10 miles north of Pensacola. They broke through the doors and went about the task of putting out the fire and looking for survivors. In one of the rooms, they found a man sitting dead on a couch. The firefighters assumed that he had been a victim of the fire, but upon further examination, it was clear that he had died from blunt force trauma to his skull, and that it was cracked open and half of his face had been smashed in. The victim, 40-year-old Terry King, was murdered by his own children, Alex, 12, and Derek, 13. According to investigators, Derek had waited until his father fell asleep, then bashed him 10 times on the head and face with an aluminum baseball bat. The boys then set the house on fire to try to conceal the crime. Their reason behind the murder: they didn't want to be punished for running away from home the night before. Westside Romance. In 1998, two gun-obsessed boys, angry over denial from romantic interest, triggered the fire alarm at Westside Middle School to lure their classmates outside. The 11-year-old Andrew Golden and his 14-year-old friend Mitchell Johnson fired repeatedly into the terrified group of students and teachers with the high-powered assault rifles, killing 3 students, 2 teachers, and wounding 10 others. In August 1998, both boys were sentenced to confinement until they reached the age of 21, but that's not all. 1 year prior to the shooting, Mitchell was charged with the molestation of a 3-year-old girl while visiting southern Minnesota with his family. Baby puncher. Christian Fernandez was having a life full of violence and neglect. When he was just 2 years old, Christian was found naked and dirty wandering a South Florida street. His grandmother, taking care of him, was passed out with cocaine in her motel room, while his 14-year-old mother was nowhere to be found. 11 years later, in 2011, 13-year-old Christian was charged with first-degree murder after beating his 2-year-old half-brother to death. He was also charged with the sexual abuse of his 5-year-old half-brother. Later in August 2013, Christian reached a plea deal with prosecutors in which he will remain in juvenile facility until he's 19. Murder by disapproval. On April 22, 2006, Jasmine Richard, age 12, and her boyfriend Jeremy, age 23, murdered her parents and younger brother in their home in Alberta, Canada. Richard's parents didn't approve of her relationship with Jeremy, so he broke into Richard's home and killed her mother and father. He then ordered her to stab her little brother once before he took over and slit his throat. Hit Boy. A boy in Sao Paulo, Brazil was accused of killing his police officer parents, his grandmother, and great aunt before spending a full day at school and then taking his own life. Police believe 13-year-old Marcelo shot each victim in the head with a .40 caliber pistol while they were sleeping. The teenager was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the temple. His father's police-issue service revolver was in his hand, as well as a .32 caliber revolver inside of his backpack. According to his friend, the teenager said he wanted to kill his parents and become a hitman after taking a sinister inspiration from infamous Amityville killings. Jealousy kills. On February 20th, 2009, 11-year-old Jordan Brown killed his father's fiancée. Kenzie, 8.5 months pregnant, was shot in the back of her head with Brown's 20-gauge youth model shotgun while laying in bed. Both she and her unborn infant died as a result of the attack. The reason for Jordan killing his father's fiancée? He was jealous that he was being replaced by a younger child. This has been Mike for Itsallviral. Thanks for watching.